Welcome to the channel. This is Parallel Rail, formerly known as It'sAGiantNU. I had to delete that page, man, because certain content that I was making, I feel like I should have been spreading my light more instead of the reality that I was in. I was just kind of solidifying those realities or those things in my life. So I wanted to change things up, man, and make a new channel, Parallel Rail, is the channel's name, man, because I've been going through different realities, man, and trying to manifest the perfect reality for me, so I feel like each reality is a version of itself in a sense. So parallel in a sense to gas or to grasp that right reality that you're looking for, man. But on a serious note, man, on a real note, on a life note, because as you try to manifest things and live a certain life, man, everything don't always go in your favor. So just recently lost my mom last month, so everything I do now is like a new fire, like a new motivation, like a new inspiration. Like I'm honoring both of my parents, because both of my parents aren't here anymore, so I'm looking at life from a sense of gratitude, that type of perspective. I'm looking at life in the sense of, doing what I need to do while I'm here on this earth, because you never know how much time we have, so that's my motivation, to weigh my mom and my father, on my back, and do the family proud, but do myself proud more so, by understanding that everything that they taught me, is not going to go to waste. I'm going to use the things that they taught me, I even been cooking more and stuff like that, because my mom, she was a real good cook, and my dad used to cook well too, but I understand that I am both of my parents. I am the child of them, right? So I'm going to be just like them in a sense. So I had to sit myself down and tap into my subconscious and understand that some things my parents was doing that I didn't like doing, and I didn't want to be on that same trajectory where I see, they win. And so I just look at myself in the mirror and love myself, because so much I seen my mom, she loved others more than she loved herself in a sense. And I think that is sense of like a role of a mother, to kind of be selfless, and which is great, but I do wish she would have took more time to, nourish her own self and love her own self, and not always look out for others, because it happened so sudden, you know what I mean? And we didn't really know. So as you try to, better yourself, you got to understand that other people, they may not go down that same path, and that's the sad part about finding yourself and going through these dark nights of the souls and these ego deaths, to really find the God in you, to wake that God in you, and understand that as you do these things, you become more powerful and more responsibilities on you. That's how I feel like God, the universe, or the creator, however you want to put it, that lives inside of you, views it as like you strong enough to live without your parents, or it's a sad way to maybe look at it in that sense, but it's a certain perspective to keep you strong, to know that God not going to let you do these things or put you out here to dry, not going to drive you this far to drop you off here, you know what I mean? You got to understand that it's a bigger plan, and that's how I look at things, I look at things like it's a bigger plan at play, I also look at, these superheroes and they origin stories, and my shit starting to line up like Batman's or some shit. Like you gotta realize, like, when these things, these traumatic events, or you lose someone that you love dearly, and you gotta grieve, and you can either sit with that and let that eat you up, or you can sit with it and let it inspire you, because the choice is yours. You always have a choice. So I know when, all the news and everything came down to me, I had to sit with myself and understand that, she's in a better place, and she's still here with me though. So that's the thing. I know she's still here with me. So that's what make me, even more inspired, because I know like energy never dies. Energy is always here. It just gets transferred, you know, it get moved around, but it never dies. So I'm gonna keep my energy, in an inspiration or inspiring atmosphere, so those around me can feed off of that, and also those that I don't know who may get to know me can feed off of that, and they can start to understand that things in our life happens so we can be what we're designed to be or destined to be. You get what I'm saying? Like, we all are here to do something, all are here to be something, and we all can create our own reality, but we all also are supposed to at least be something before we can, create to the fullest. And you get what I'm trying to say? I'm trying to say that fate has a play in some of these things before destiny, before you control your destiny. And I'm starting to see that in my life. Some things that when you get to alignment aren't aligned with the higher picture or the bigger picture. And as those things unfold before your eyes, you understand that that's fate taking place. That's something that's taking place that's, out of your hands, out of your control. And as you understand that, then you can kind of you can come to grips and understand it. I don't know, I'm not trying to say understand, but you can, I don't know what word I'm looking for. But yeah, you can understand it though, man. I guess I can just say that, or understand it, overstand it, however you want to put it, man. But honestly, man, this experience has just taught me more about myself and taught me more about how much I can deal with and how much weight and stuff that, I can carry, or maybe I was already carrying. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you don't know. You can be out and about and you can be worried about your parents, or you can be worried about the house, things of that nature. And sometimes, you don't have to worry about those things when someone's, in a better place. But I just want to say, man, I just want to let you guys know, man, like, whoever was rocking with me beforehand, because I know it wasn't too many subscribers I had, but I knew that I had a lot of content out, so many people could have came across the content and maybe not have subscribed. So just want to say, man, I'm not a quitter. I was never quitting. Like, I was going to come back and make content, but I had to go through those parallels. I had to go through those dimensions. I had to get out of certain dimensions to understand where I was at. I had to get out of certain mind frames and psychological traps that I was, in, that maybe I even set myself in, and a lot of ego. I had to defeat the ego and understand that the ego does want to compartmentalize everything. The ego does want to box everything up, put something here, and something here, and then that way it can kind of understand it. But everything is not for the ego to understand, especially when you're thinking about the age of Aquarius. You understand, like, the age of Aquarius, like, you really got an opportunity to really live in the age of Aquarius if you can really rise up to the understanding of knowing of what's taking place, astronomically. And that happens within your body, within your soul, within your spirit. And when you really look at these things, man, you really understand that it's time for you to shed your ego and live ego-free and watch how wonderful the world is. Like, we all had to put out our ego up to protect us, in a sense, because we've seen certain things happen when we was younger to mask us, to make us put up a shield. But age of Aquarius, you're not gonna need that same shield. You're gonna walk and that shield gonna be there. You know what I mean? Like, you're just gonna be around good energy because you embody good energy. And there's nothing that's gonna affect your good energy if you can, hold that frequency. You can hold that line, if you can hold that understanding, you can hold that feeling of feeling good and knowing that you feel good and nothing can get in your atmosphere to drain you or to bring you down or make you sad or mad or these things, then you know that you can ultimately, keep vibing high and greater things come your way. And that's how I be living my life. I just try to cut out the BS or cut out the debates and cut out the arguing. Like I'm all for conversation, but it gotta be an understanding, it gotta be a dialogue. It can't be someone fussing over the other or someone not letting someone else speak, And I think I learned a lot of that from my parents, I feel like my father had a lot of knowledge and my mom, she was real good at communicating. So I feel like I'm using both my dad's knowledge that he instilled in me, and plus my own knowledge that I tap into with myself. And my mom was, like I said, my mom was a great communicator, so I feel like I communicate well with people. People vibe with me, and people gravitate towards me. So it's all about how you treat people. That's one thing that I seen when my mom did pass. I went in her room and it was this paper. It was just like this paper. It was like, I don't know what it was, but it was like 4 cards or 5 cards or something like that. And it said, it's all in how you treat people. So I know she still be talking, like, you get what I'm saying? Like how she maybe not here, but she still speaks, to me, or speaks in a way that the universe speaks to me in a way that my mom would speak to me. And that's how I can just, appreciate and be more thankful, more grateful, instead of being, in a state of grieving and things of that nature. Because for a while, it took me some time to get over my father's death and get over my father's relationship that I had with him before he died. So, because we wasn't on good terms, so I had to go back to the memory log of all the great things that he did instill into me. So, to make me honor him, to make me understand him, to make me be more humble, so I can understand who I am. Because you got to know yourself before you can know anybody else. You got to know yourself before you can know anybody else. That's why I don't judge. That's why I look at myself in the mirror, or I try not to be around things that make me act out of character, and when I do see myself in that environment, I try to limit all my type of communication, because you can say something that you don't really want to say just because you feel a certain way that you really don't want to feel. So when you understand that you are in control of everything, then you let what happens while you don't do anything. If that make any sense. Like you let the reality, you let the things play out while you just be an observer, while you just look and see things will just play out right before your eyes, and you will start to understand that things was going to take place even if you even jumped in it or not. It's like, you ever seen someone like playing like they doing like double dutch or something and they got to jump in? Like, the people who swinging the rope, they gonna keep swinging the rope. They gonna keep swinging. They gonna be there. They gonna keep swinging the rope. And it got to be the person on the side that got to jump in. And that's why they be rushing them. Like, come on, man, jump in. My arms get tired. Jump in. And when you understand that you got to be the one to jump in, that's interactions, exchanges, competition. Jump in the reality of your dreams, or jump in the embodiment of who you really truly want to be in this world, and not caring what anybody else say about you, then jumping in is part of something that you have to do, but it's a choice. Do you jump in with the good shit, or do you jump in with the bad shit? And it's up to you to make that decision to see what's good or bad, because no one's really gonna be here to help you, like, catch you when you fall, or no one's really gonna be telling you the right step to take. You get what I'm saying? So you have to be the one to take that jump, take that leap, because it's between you and your life that's gonna help you. You know what I mean? You're gonna learn these things. You're gonna find value in yourself when you start taking more risk, and you start doing things different than everybody else, doing things different than the norm. And that's what make you Be a king within yourself. Like right now, it's like what? Leo season right now. So you have to understand that this season is for you to embody that, you know, that energy that you want to be. You know, you don't maybe not want to be a king, maybe not want to be, you know, a ruler over yourself or whatever. I don't know. I mean, I know that's my goal, to always but always be in control of me and always understand the moves that I want to make and take. And certain doors open up that way because I'm in control. But if I let someone else take the wheel, then I can be led astray, you know. So that's why I always want to take control. That's why I always want to be the driver, be the pilot. Because if I know how to, you know, drive a plane, I'm gonna land this motherfucker. You know. Well, if I said drive a plane, fly a plane. Hey, that's the whole purpose though, is evolution, is growth. Keep learning and keep growing and keep adding on to things, you know. And you know, even this right here, like, this is something that I feel like I can do, but you gotta have motivation and energy to put out the type of content and shit that you want to do. Like, for me, like I said, I'm a perfectionist, so I try to perfect myself before I do certain things. And it's not that someone can be afraid, or someone could just be just a fucking critical ass judge, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just a critical judge of myself, and feel like that's great, but that also is something that I got to get over, because that hinders me from putting out certain shit, certain content. And it may not be the perfect shit in my eyes, but it could be perfect in someone else's eyes. And that's something that I have to I have to understand, because it's not all about me. Sometimes it's about spreading your story or spreading what you've been through, so someone else can you know, understand that they can get over it too. You know, one of my favorite lines, one of my favorite rap lines, right? What Kanye say, you can make it through anything if Magic made it. Like, if you can make it through anything, if Magic is still alive and living, and you know what I'm saying? Like, you can make it through anything, man. And it's all about you shifting your reality, shifting to a parallel reality that matches the frequency that you want to be a part of, man. And at the end of the day, man, there's still a giant in you. You know, that's not no lie that I had, or some fib or some false narrative. No, it's still a giant in you, man. You just gotta find that giant in you. That giant is really a God in you. It's really a God in you, you know. But at the time when I made, you know, the page, I was kind of in my head, because I was fighting and arguing with certain people during my awakening and understanding who I am, that I littled the title and shit, you know. It's really a God in you, you know. You just gotta seek, and you shall find. And when you find it, know that there's some power that come with that shit, and there's also some power that come with that shit, but there's also some power that can destroy your ass at the same time. So you gotta be childlike, you gotta be student-like, you gotta be newborn-like, you gotta be new-minded. Like, you can't be the same person who you are right now and think that you're gonna reach godhood without making those sacrifices at first. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can be where you at now. You can reach godhood where you at right now because you've done all the work. But if you haven't done all the work, don't think you're gonna be that same person and reach godhood. No. You're gonna have to go through trials and tribulations. You're gonna have to go through fights within yourself, because it's an ego fight. Like, this spiritual battle, this spiritual war that people speak of, man, is really within you. It's really within your true nature and the false nature, you know. The false nature is this gimmick that you put up in front of others. But the true nature is power. true nature is real essence, real glory, real dignity, real honor. That's your true nature. Your true nature is when you step and when you walk. People gotta respect it because it's the energy that you hold. You know what I mean? That's your true nature. True nature is God. Your true nature is not no peasant. And the more you embody being a peasant, that's when bad shit happen in your life. So you have to embody being that God, or being that vibrant energy, that vibrant person, that good spirited person when you go places. Because that's reflection is going to come back to you. You're going to see good spirited people around you. You're going to see harmonious people around you because you are in harmony with the universe. You are in harmony because you are the center of your universe. You know what I'm saying? When you start looking outside, then you outside the center. But when you embody who you are, you just walk in it, then you are the center. So when you are the center, man, like, I don't know if y'all can see this. It's been like butterflies and I don't know, man. People who watch my old content, they know, bro. These butterflies be vibing. These dragonflies be vibing. The bees be vibing. And it's an energy thing. It's an energy field thing in them. And I embody more of it, understanding it. Sometimes I wouldn't embody it. I just shy away from it and shit. But the more you embody it, the more you be it, the more you gain respect within yourself, and the more you evolve and elevate, and then others can see you do that, and then that makes them inspired to elevate. You know, because obviously some people could see it and become a hater, or see it and don't like you, but some people can be inspired. Some people could love you for it. Some people could see a level that you reach and make them want to see themselves at that same level, you know? Like, think about it. When you first started playing like Need for Speed, when you first started playing Midnight Club and games like that, when you played the CPU and the CPU had some fast little car too, smoked you, it made you want to go get it. So when you got your money up, you went and got it. And you was smoking the computer with the same joint. So it's about a level that you trying to reach, but you only can see that level or be that level if you can see it. You know, you at this frequency, and it's this frequency you trying to reach, but you don't know nothing about this frequency till you see something about it. That's why you still trying to understand who you are. You trying to understand who you are. What is life? What is all this stuff about? Because you're trying to understand that it's always levels. It's always a level. You know, it's always a level. It's a level for you to reach, and that's why life is eternity. Like, death is an illusion. Like, I know my mom passed, but she passed to moved on to the next life, and she still lives within me in this life. We all multi-dimensional. You know what I mean? And I understand that. 'Cause I had a dream about her like a few days before the funeral and stuff. So we all multi-dimensional, man. And the more you understand that, the more you can get yourself out of these loops that you are in. You may think it's like, damn, bro, I need a new job, or damn, bro, I need to do this, do that. But it's actually a loop that you're in. But you don't see that you're in the loop because you're in the loop. You gotta step out of the loop and see that the loop's still fucking being played. You're like, oh shit, what the fuck? I was being played this whole time. I was in the loop the whole time. Like, what the hell? But yeah, man. Happy to be back making content, man. Sometimes I be getting my perfectionist ways, be getting in my way. But the more I just go and just, it's a wrap. Cause I'm one of them people who's consistent, and I don't let up. But I feel like when that fire hit, that's what I be really like waiting on, that fire to spark. You know, it's Leo season, so I feel like that fire been sparking. The fire been sparking for some months now, but I had to wait my turn, had to wait my time till I felt the energy to really step out, to really go, you know, and really understand. Cause so many different things that I was watching and seeing is like, damn, bro, like people are people need inspiration, people need encouragement, and people need some form of light, you know, because we all live in a dark, like right here, right? Hold on, let me see. Like right here, like some grapes and stuff growing right here. And that's just a form of anything can grow for real, you know what I mean? Anything can grow in the darkness because those seeds and those things get planted in the darkness. But sometimes we don't know what seeds being planted until we put the light onto it once it start growing. So I feel like we all need to shine our light to see what we fucking are harvesting. You know what I mean? Shine our light to really see, you know, what God has for us and be grateful for those things, because we all manifested those things in our life one way or another, if we meant to do it or if we didn't mean to do it. You know, through our emotions, through our timelines, through how we feel, through our connection with, you know, our higher self and things of these nature. But just want to say, man, embody who you are, live for you, love yourself, love your loved ones, love your ancestors, because they paved the way for you. You are your ancestors, you know what I mean? And you know, every dark day, you know, comes with a brighter day after that. So if you're in a dark time of your life, you can get out of it. You can work your way out of it. You know, you can find certain things to tap into your subconscious. You know, you got to find the God within you, and not, you know, some God, you know, that some surface God or some God that's on some, you know, TV show or some book or something, because it's all in you, trying to teach you about you. So, but you got to be a student to learn about yourself. That's what this whole journey is about. It's about learning you, so you can master yourself, you know, and be a master amongst those who aren't willing to master themselves. You know, hey man, it's parallel real.